The pressure is back on the government to sort out the Ihumātao land dispute, with the Māori King and mana whenua today clear and united in their hope to see the land returned. Kīngi Tuheitia has urged the government to negotiate with Fletchers to give the South Auckland land back to the people he says are its rightful owners. But the acting Prime Minister has signalled there would have to be a very high threshold for them to get involved, and he's not convinced the situation warrants it. Our Māori News correspondent Leigh-Marama McLachlan has the latest.
There was an air of hope at Ihumātao when Kīngi Tuheitia first raised his flag there, and now it's clear why. He stepped in to sort out internal divisions over the land occupation, and nearly 7 weeks later, this morning, he announced they want the land back. It came as an utter relief for those who have been occupying Ihumātao for weeks, some even years, to stop a major housing development. Makaurau Marae representative Kiani Mātatasepu spoke to media this afternoon.
From the outset, we have said the development needs to be stopped and the whenua must be returned. And so to have this consensus and to have that supported by the Kīngitanga movement is the best outcome for us that we could have sought from this process.
The move is a bit of a U-turn for the Māori King. Back in July, when the protest ramped up at Ihumātao, Kīngi Tuheitia said he backed the housing development. The Kīngitanga had struck a deal with Fletchers to get back 8 out of the 32 hectares there. But spokesperson Rahui Papa says holding talks with mana whenua changed things.
Throughout the stages, the King took the pulse of the people, had a bit of a listen to the wants and the needs, and this is about returning the land for the mana whenua to make the determination on what happens to the land.
Since the beginning, the strict position of the occupiers has been no housing development. Now they're saying they're just happy to get the land returned. Mr Papa says there are whānau who want houses there so they can live on their whenua, and nothing is off the table.
It still could be housing, it still could be heritage, it still could be a number of options, but we needed to take some time for the mana whenua to consult with all of the whānau to come up with the best way forward.
The government stepped back from the dispute and let the Kīngitanga do its thing. Now the ball is back in the government's court, with even more pressure on it than before. The Kīngitanga has specifically urged it to negotiate with Fletchers to return the land, but it can no longer be given back through treaty settlement, and the government won't want to set a precedent by buying back privately owned land for Māori. Tāmaki Makaurau MP Peni Henare says it's time for everyone to sit around the table.
From here on out, it's really now the mahi starts in terms of the government perspective.
But the acting Prime Minister, Winston Peters, had other ideas. He said there has already been a treaty settlement and the issue is still in the hands of the Kīngitanga, not the government.
There would have to be one extraordinary high benchmark for the government to be involved, and hitherto we do not see that benchmark.
In a statement, Fletcher Building says it agreed to put construction on hold to allow time for discussions between the government and iwi to take place, and it is disappointed that they have not produced a resolution. Fletchers will be seeking an urgent discussion with all parties. For Checkpoint, I'm Leigh-Marama McLachlan.